Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States hand out cash cards for fire survivors in New York City and Philadelphia. We learn why investing in yourself and working hard in school can help you get ready for the real world. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Now. Thank you for joining us. In Pennsylvania of the United States, a fire broke out in a neighborhood in southwest Philadelphia on the early morning of July 5th, taking 4 lives. Following several disaster assessments, Tzu Chi volunteers recently returned to the neighborhood to hand out cash cards. But first, we go to New York City, where Tzu Chi Foundation and other organizations joined hands to help those affected by a mid-August blaze that struck a neighborhood in Harlem.
What time is it? When is
Like at 5:45.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing. I just went down the stairs.
On August 18th, a fire broke out in the neighborhood of Harlem, New York, which consists mostly of immigrants from the Dominican Republic. Without a roof over their heads, the victims are now forced to stay in temporary shelters.
We smell smoke. When I was approaching the second floor, the smoke was coming up. So we managed to go inside one of the second floor apartment buildings facing the front of the street, and we exit through the fire escape. And that's how we made it alive.
Following the tragedy, love from across New York City has started to pour into the disaster area. Organizations such as the Salvation Army, Red Cross, and Tzu Chi Foundation also decided to lend a helping hand.
To see a Buddhist organization. New York is fantastic. You see people that, they feel together and they try to help each other no matter, your race, your breed. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. For me, it's an experience that has marked my life from years back. But this time it's you.
With most of the families affected by the blaze still staying in temporary shelters, in the days and weeks ahead, Tzu Chi volunteers promise to accompany them on the road to recovery. Praying sincerely for a world free from disaster, this is the scene at a Tzu Chi cash card distribution. Although it has been nearly 2 months since a devastating fire ripped through a block in southwest Philadelphia, many fire victims are still grieving for the loss of loved ones.
Future, and I want to go back to the same place again. I want to live good life. I don't want I to be feeling bad all the time. I love my children.
The fire struck on the early morning of July 5th and took the lives of 4 children. Knowing that many of the residents have a hard time making ends meet, Tzu Chi volunteers quickly mobilized to hand out cash cards before the start of a new semester.
Where I came from, Africa, everywhere I'm from Africa, so I really appreciate what you guys doing and continue to do the good work. We really appreciate whatever you guys give us today, we really appreciate it.
Out here suffering, wishing for homes, and I didn't really know how that felt until my home caught on fire. So in my next school, I intend to donate cans and donate more stuff because I saw how the church was donating and helping me.
With Tzu Chi's cash cards in hand, local residents finally have the means to get through this difficult time. In the future, Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to provide assistance wherever needed. In observance of the 7th lunar month, Tzu Chi volunteers in the United States, New Zealand, and Canada held blessing ceremonies. Volunteers in Dallas, Texas, and New Zealand also prepare free vegetarian meals for people to try. After trying meatless diets for 30 days, many local residents felt they had become healthier and realized the importance of environmental conservation.
New Zealand Tzu Chi volunteers provided vegetarian meals for each day of the 7th lunar month.
As they tried out different meals, if they like them, they can cook them at home later.
Zheng Xinmin from China's Jiangxi is in New Zealand for a family visit. In her free time, she decided to volunteer.
I really want to participate. I cannot stand having my hands idle. I want to help out whenever I can.
This is the 4th year that Tzu Chi has held this vegetarian event here, during which hundreds of people volunteered to make more than 3,400 meals in total. The factory next door was also kind enough to provide free parking for event participants.
It was only 3 times I took this at home, and my kids really love it.
Tzu Chi volunteers also provided vegetarian meals in Dallas, United States, for 1 month, continuing an 8-year tradition. Managers of Chinese restaurant Panda Express were also on the scene to volunteer.
I always feel better when I'm eating vegetarian. The more meals that I eat per day that are vegetarian, the better I feel that week.
Some residents have come with much gratitude, such as Chen Shiyuan, who was hospitalized after a car accident 2 months ago. During his time in the hospital, volunteers came to visit him daily.
They drove to visit me. To do so, they had to rearrange their schedules, as they don't live next door and therefore can see me whenever they want. It took a lot of time and effort on their part.
In Canada, Tzu Chi volunteers share the benefits of becoming vegetarians in a blessing ceremony and call on the public to protect the earth.
Pigs and cows are like humans, and they cry when getting butchered.
With a compassionate heart, good thoughts, and good deeds, good fortunes will surely be on the way.
1 month following the series of powerful gas blasts that ripped through Kaohsiung, Taiwan, have residents' lives returned to normal? In our next report, let's take a look at the recovery efforts and progress made following the July 31st explosions.
1 month after gas blasts rocked Kaohsiung, what is the progress of the city's recovery? Roads have been repaired, doors and windows have been installed.
这边有不良墙壁尤其每天都下雨经过几次上述水灾大家也是感触良多了。
Standing on the deck of Borough Chief Liao Funan's home, what's left of the roof wasn't even able to provide shelter from a sudden storm.
当天几乎每家
The explosions ripped the roofs off almost every single home. The corrugated steel panels were also torn apart by the blasts.
炸掉了现在还没完成。
In a home just across the street, a temporary campus can't keep the rain from pouring into the senior's home. Despite her back pain, 80-year-old Grandma Wu makes several trips upstairs to clear out the rainwater.
I can't remember. Yes, many times. Just this morning alone, I came up here 4 or 5 times, and this afternoon as well, to clear out the water and check on the workers.
The downpour has left the senior's home unbearably humid and stuffy. Streets extending from Sandor Road were ripped open by the series of powerful explosions, sending cement rubble into homes and alleyways that left many in a state of panic. If it were not for the rows of signage, it's hard to imagine that this street was once bustling with activity. Seeing their years of hard work shattered in an instant, store owners are at a loss for words. For residents whose homes have suffered damage, no amount of words can describe their anguish.
Currently, we're still waiting for the evaluation to be done because the structure of these 9 houses is leaning to the left.
We have a home that we cannot go back to. Each time I come here, I am overwhelmed by sadness.
Having called this place home for the last 40 to 50 years, Dong Qingyu is still reeling from the incident. However, bringing Kaohsiung residents out from under the clouds of despair has been the private sector.
Everything has been replaced. It's much better now. At least we can keep out the rain. And the door has been replaced, so we feel much safer now.
The roof sustained severe damage, so repairs are going slow. It will take at least a month at the quickest.
The private sector has taken the initiative in the recovery effort. Taiwan Semiconductor is overseeing infrastructure repairs, while the Rotary Club of Kaohsiung is providing homeowners with subsidies for housing repairs. Ensuring that a sense of safety and normalcy is restored as soon as possible, construction crew often work late into the night.
The culverts leading downstream are relatively large and are more complex to install. Therefore, we expect it to be completed by the end of October. Road repairs will be completed by November 20th.
The Kaohsiung city government anticipates all roads will be fully operational and all infrastructure and homes will be restored by November 20th. Only then will landscape restoration begin, and that is expected to be completed by December 20th.
These used to be hotly contested storefronts. The street was usually ablaze with neon lights, but it's just pitch dark and empty now. The residents have been asking me when they can resume normal business operations again.
Although the incident has left many filled with anguish and fear, only by overcoming adversity can residents triumph over this difficult time.
Kaohsiung Third Road of Kaohsiung is known as the Auto Rental Street, as car rental companies litter the street. Unfortunately, the street was caught up in the Kaohsiung gas explosions, and many companies lost their vehicles. Those who can have already relocated, while those who remain behind can only hope the repair to the street will be done soon so they can continue their business. Meanwhile, aid from Tzu Chi happens to be the best support these owners can find.
Using online network services as a medium to reach out to their customers, this car rental company that lost 4 vehicles in the Kaohsiung gas explosions is trying to generate income to pay for its mortgages, while other rental companies that can have relocated to restart their business.
Through phone calls, text messages, and posts made to Facebook, we are telling our customers that the roads are damaged. We are still open for business.
As Kaohsiung Third Road has yet to be repaired, new customers have shied away from this auto rental street of Kaohsiung. Now business is only 1/5 of what it was. With loans to pay and children going back to school, the owners are really strapped for money. Thankfully, Tzu Chi is here.
To us, this is truly emergency cash. It came from donations made by people I don't even know. Though we are on the receiving end now, I believe one day we will be the ones to give.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's hot meal service and consolation cash, this couple has been given the strength to continue on. As the city continues to rebuild, the couple believes soon they will be able to pay the love forward.
June is graduation month in Taiwan. This year, 120,000 graduates completed their education and entered the real world. However, today, 60% of them have yet to find a job. The government has determined the main deterrent are the low wages, which averages around $900 per month for a college grad, the same figure back in year 2000, while the cost of living has risen by 15% since then. Thus, we have prepared this new series to help the rest find a way out.
Every year after graduation, new graduates frantically search for a job. Choosing a career can be quite intimidating. However, with early preparation, things might not look as bad.
Hi, I'm Luo Hejie. I'm 25 years old and work as an analyst for a U.S. firm.
Luo served in the armed forces after graduation and was immediately employed after his discharge. Though young, he is full of confidence. As a freshman, Luo immediately joined an international organization to strengthen his credentials, which put him 4 years ahead of his classmates in terms of career planning.
I'm very happy to be blessed with the opportunity to interact and cooperate with people from different countries through this platform, whether these organizations are profit-oriented or non-profit-oriented.
The experiences strengthened Luo's language and communication skills. So even without a higher degree, he found many corporations willing to hire him.
In Taiwan, people often talk about how hard it is to find a job after graduating. But I think the solution is to prepare early. If you wait until your senior year to make your career plans, then it might be a little too late.
That is exactly the problem faced by many graduates today. Studies show that among this year's graduates, 70.6% only began sending out resumes right before graduation or military discharge.
I have been sending out my resumes online to many different companies, but I think my chances are pretty slim. I'm worried that I will not find a job.
Finding a job takes more than just sending out resumes blindly. One must understand the trends in the economy and industries.
You must build up your skill set and understand yourself. Know what kind of job fits you. Opportunities are only for those who are well prepared, so you must be willing to invest in the effort.
Students should strengthen themselves while in school. Only when a candidate is qualified will he or she be employable. This is Lowell's junior classmate who took on the position of ASIC chairwoman 2 years ago. She graduated last year and has also found a job.
Hi, I'm Pan Pei Shen. I'm 23 years old. I am an executive trainee at an international media company.
As the young people of Taiwan battle the curse of low wages, 2 former leaders of ASIC have managed to stand apart from the rest due to their skill sets.
I think the first step is not just about sending out resumes, but rather look at your own experience and understand your talents and interests.
To give yourself a competitive edge, you have to combine your talents with the efforts you've invested in yourself. Only by making the best out of your 4 years in college and learning at every opportunity can you ready yourself for what lies ahead. When you are ready, don't be afraid to dream big and have the courage and determination to see things through. In this way, success will be assured.
Tzu Chi scholarship recipients receive not just monetary assistance but also emotional support. Indonesia Tzu Chi volunteers recently held a camp for its 133 scholarship recipients, infusing them with positive ideals.
More than 100 scholarship recipients from all over Indonesia have gathered here in Jakarta's Tzu Chi Jingsi Hall. All will be joining Tzu Chi after graduation.
We want to let the students know that their life will be meaningful in the future, as they will come to work for Tzu Chi upon graduation. We introduced our various departments, so it will be easier for them when they first start working here.
Discussion panels and interactive courses were held to further acquaint the students with Tzu Chi.
After coming to the camp, I obtained a better understanding of Tzu Chi's ideals, all of which I very much agree with. In the future, I will try my best to help the needy. Even after completing my service work, I will continue to work for Tzu Chi.
While at the camp, students discovered that their scholarship comes from a group of mothers who have been saving their spare change for charity.
I'm really grateful to Tzu Chi, as it has given me an education, as well as a chance to pursue my dreams and make my parents happy.
I live far from Jakarta, but I was still able to become a scholarship recipient. Tzu Chi is like a parent to me.
Through the 3-day camp, the students not only come to understand Tzu Chi's better, but also learn from the experience of other students.
I keep reminding them that they are all capable of completing their studies and that they should not give up or lose confidence, because it is impossible to finish college without confidence or without studying hard.
Tzu Chi volunteers also teach students the importance of being grateful and working for environmental protection, instilling them with the right mindset before school starts again.
Recently, in Vietnam's Binh Duen province, Tzu Chi volunteers handed out scholarships to 178 students along with items for their daily needs. Let's take a look.
Bringing to light the misery of living in forgotten corners of society, in Vietnam, Tzu Chi volunteers visit the 4 towns and districts of Binh Duen province. Despite having such a broad area to cover, volunteers remain steadfast as they visit 375 impoverished students from over 180 different schools. These home visitations were an eye-opener for those teachers and government officials that tagged along.
Tagging along with the Tzu Chi volunteers while visiting the students' homes really changed me. I saw how difficult life was for some students. I hope Tzu Chi can continue to give them assistance so they may concentrate on their studies.
The scholarship recipients this time included 178 elementary, middle, and high school students from Duan An Town and Bak Tan Yuan District. On top of their financial support, recipients also received various relief goods.
Our family really struggles at times to come up with money. Seeing so many poor students receive Tzu Chi's New Shoot scholarships really makes me happy.
I'm in the 8th grade and I'm grateful to have received Tzu Chi's New Shoot scholarship. I will continue to work hard in school and not let you down.
Receiving Tzu Chi's blessings, parents and students are filled with gratitude, while volunteers hope through such aid, the students can break the cycle of poverty.
For the past 5 years, Tzu Chi's kindergarten in Malaysia have been promoting a Passport for Vegetarian Land campaign. The children's enthusiasm to the cause has gradually inspired more parents to join them in embracing a vegetarian diet.
Wearing their handmade costumes, right now each student is a citizen of Veggieland.
We can't eat so much meat because we have to love animals.
For 5 consecutive years, Tzu Chi Kindergarten has been promoting a Passport for Vegetarian Land campaign. Once a student reaches the target of a 1-month vegetarian diet, they will receive a certificate for their efforts.
I am a vegetarian now.
Boarding an eco-friendly spaceship back to planet Earth, students say their mission doesn't end there.
Because I'm a Tzu Chi Bodhisattva. Yes.
Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi Kindergarten here in Penang, students prepared their own meals and even organized a short play to promote vegetarianism.
If we continue killing animals, bad things will happen.
Pursuing a vegetarian lifestyle, these young ones are shifting towards a more positive mindset.
Meat is not delicious. Veggies.
If we eat veggies, our planet won't get sick.
For this reason, at the Bukit Mutadam Tzu Chi Academy, Xie Baohui and his family no longer eat meat.
I believe in cause and effect. The master tells us to undertake a vegetarian diet to protect the earth.
Inspired by their daughter to undertake a 1-month vegetarian diet, Xie Baohui and his wife experienced firsthand the benefits of vegetarianism.
We do feel there have been some changes. We're not so tired anymore and our overall health is much better than before.
Although the Passport for Vegetarian Land campaign has come to an end, the students' commitment of a vegetarian diet, however, continues.
As the Mid-Autumn Festival is just around the corner,澎湖Tzu Chi volunteers visited care recipients and family members of those who passed away in the Trans-Asian Airways plane crash with mooncakes and daily necessities. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.